Welcome back, Kings and Queens. You are in the Crease with Coach Seabass. Super excited to bring you guys episode 2. We had a great response from our first episode, and so we're super pumped to bring our initial interviews onto the schedule this episode. We had some great goalies play well to start the season off, so we're super excited to show them some love and kick off the season the right way. Because that's what we do around here. We're just trying to spread the love, spread the goalie love. Starting off the show on the girls' side, we really want to recognize 3 girls who really performed well for their teams, really started off the season right, and really deserve the credit because they truly balled out week 1. Starting off the list, we have Ali Ragano. Not really sure how you pronounce that, but congratulations to her. She played extremely well week 1. She had 18 saves, a near 50% save percentage, and luckily I was able to see Ali in person during the Cardinal Mooney game. And you can really see that she has complete control of that academy defense. Really great to see. Up next, we have Rosie Langston. Near 50% save percentage there for Pensacola Catholic. Has started off the season undefeated, so truly great to see that team and Rosie out to a great start this season. Rounding off the list, we have our Crease Kings goalie of the week, Emma Rasmussen, out of Haggerty High School in Orlando. She had a 3-0 start versus some super quality teams like Episcopal in Jacksonville and Lake Highland Prep in Orlando. She put up a 52% save percentage. She averaged 6 goals against, and she led a very quality Haggerty girls team to a state Final Four appearance last season. And we are super lucky to have interviewed Emma for the show today. Thank you for coming and taking time out of your day. First question, how did you first get into playing lacrosse and what drew you to the position of goalie?
So I have an older sister. She's 3 years older than me. So she tried out her freshman year for our school team with her friends. And so I went and watched some of her games and I was like, oh, this is something like I could see myself doing. And I had my close friends played lacrosse club, played at that was their primary sport. And so I was like, oh, I'll play it once I get to high school. So I've been playing soccer my whole life. That's my sport. So originally when I was thinking of playing, I was like, oh, I'll play a field position, most likely midfield because that's what I played for soccer. And so as I'm coming up, we were doing fall ball my freshman year. My sister came to me and she was like, there was a senior goalie and she was going to be graduating, and then there was no backup. On varsity or JV, they didn't have a goalie at all. So my sister was like, why don't you just do that? So that's how I came into the position, and then it just stuck.
I got you. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like a lot of people just kind of have that. I feel like not a lot of people just start playing goalie. It's usually there's a need for it, and then somebody just kind of steps up. What do you think are the most crucial attributes to be a successful goalie, both physically and mentally?
So for the physical aspect, I feel like just playing to your strengths. Because there's not a set look for a goalie, but I'd say I'm pretty athletic, so I'm always very active in goal. So I'm moving, I'm never standing still. Balls behind cage, I'm moving, getting in the way, passing lanes. And I feel like that's really a strong attribute to use, your physical abilities. The mental aspect is definitely what it all comes down to. Because, you're going to get scored on. It comes with the position, being able to shake it off, grow from that, make a bad clear. You just have to overcome the mental obstacles to be able to grow and strengthen your skills.
For sure. Awesome. Great answer. But when you play those big teams, when you play those big games, what do you think is obviously getting a great warm up, watching film, all that stuff is great and important. But which of those things do you think is most important for you in your preparation?
I just think I like to keep it simple because I feel like the more I think about it, I tend to overthink and then kind of doubt myself. So most important is, before the game, music in my ears, just listening to some high energy, get me into that mental space. And honestly, I just kind of like try to keep myself a little distracted because if I overthink, then I'm going to mess up.
Yeah, no, I completely get you.
And I mean, just being around my teammates, talking about it, like just getting pumped up is really just what gets me in that headspace.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously one of the worst things you can do as a goalie is overthink. And you might have to think about this for a little bit. Can you share any memorable save or like game-changing moment from like your career? So like maybe like when you were a sophomore, like, you know, maybe you had a shaky season, but then like you had like a certain play that you made in a game that kind of like altered your career. I don't like just anything you can think of.
So I actually really like this question because there was one I immediately thought of. So we were in regional final last season against Vero Beach. So we were up by 2. There was, I think, about a minute left. They get an FPA on the first hash. So I'm freaking out, whatever. But then I save it. And then they're all obviously like all around me. So I have to run out. And then I get fouled on like the 12. There's 4 girls surrounding me. I'm like this with my stick. So then I have to run back to the crease, and then I get a clear out, and then we end up winning the game. And that's just, it was the best feeling.
How do you handle setbacks or mistakes during a game, and what do you do to bounce back? Obviously, as goalies, like you just said before, you're going to get scored on. Sometimes like you might like have a big game and you just let 5 by you, and it's like, oh my God, like I'm letting my team down. Like what? But how do you like come back to earth and you know, talk yourself off the ledge?
I mean, it happened like last week against Lake Highland. It was our first game. I had the jitters. It was just like overthinking everything. I messed up twice in the first like 5 minutes. So obviously I'm like really upset at myself. I'm like,
for sure.
What are you thinking? Like, you're not, you don't play this way. But it did take me to the end of the first quarter to like sit down on the bench, drink some water, be like, you can do this. What are you doing? Pull it together. You got this. Like, just definitely a lot of positive, telling myself positive things, because I don't try to be, if I'm negative to myself, then I'm going to mess up more.
So the next question is, okay, can you talk about the importance of leadership in the goalie position and how you demonstrate it on and off the field? As a goalie, like what is that leadership role look like?
Really just taking charge and communication. I think communication is one of the biggest aspects of the goalie position in having a strong relationship with your defense. Because obviously as a sophomore, I'm like, oh, I don't want to like stand out too much. I don't want to be too loud. Don't want to like get on anyone's like bad side. But I had to understand that when I'm talking, it benefits them. When I'm always saying something. I'm calling where ball is. I'm calling what I see, because I'm the only one on the field that sees everything. When my back's turned, they're talking to each other. It's just something like we implemented because communication is so important. And and even when like the ball's on the offensive side, I'm just standing in cage. I'm always cheering on. I'm always getting that, giving the encouragement, because I feel like we all play better when we're supporting each other. Totally.
When do you feel like you kind of like the leadership role like clicked for you?
It was really like last season, maybe like a couple months in.
Okay.
And then it just was like, all right, this is like talk. You're vocal. Like, I love talking, so just use it. Like, use your voice.
Wonderful. If you could go back to your freshman year self and give them advice, what would it be? It could be anything, honestly.
Yeah. So, going from soccer, not wearing any equipment, no helmet, it really took a toll on me, like how I looked, like with all of the gear on. So I was like embarrassed. I was like worrying about what people thought. I was like thinking maybe people would make fun of me, but I had to learn. Like now I look back and I'm like, why are you embarrassed? Like, it's the position. Like there's a girl on the other side of the field wearing the same stuff.
Exactly.
I guess I was the thought of getting scored on. People say to me like, oh, why didn't you save that? Stuff like that. It really got to my head, and I really wish it didn't.
Right, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I think goalie's definitely not the glamour position. Okay, what What do you enjoy most about playing goalie, and what keeps you motivated continually to improve?
Oh, I just love the energy that the position brings. I mean, the feeling
Yeah,
of hitting a save, making a great clear. It's just something that really made me love it. And
for
like
sure.
a great save can like push away like 2 goals on me. It's just like
Yeah,
get a save, it's like, all right, let's get more. Like, and it's
yeah,
just I don't know, I really just learned to love the position. And the encouragement, like what makes me want to keep growing as a player is really just my teammates. I mean, their support, they're so supportive of me, they're encouraging, and I really just like want to be the best I can be for them and for the team.
awesome. Good deal. Perfect answer. Um, can you share any experiences or lessons learned from being a part of like a successful team that's made to the Final Four, and won a regional championship? Like what lessons have you learned, especially from like last year's team?
It just showed me that when we collectively have a common goal and we're all determined, we're putting our all into everything that we do, that we can easily be successful. Any team can be skilled, but if you don't have that connection with each other, then it's really hard to get to the next level.
Gotcha.
And we're really just like a tight unit in a family. Like we bicker sometimes, but it's just out of love, and
Yeah.
we just wanna win and get a championship.
Last question. Finally, what are your goals and aspirations for your lacrosse career, both short term, like this season, and then going on?
Oh yeah, so I want to increase my comfortability with long clears and doing them in games, because I know I can do it, and I just want to be able to get to that level where it's just easy muscle memory, look up, be able to throw it. And then short term for my team would definitely be getting a state championship. That's our goal. My last chance.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I gotcha. That's good. Thank you so much. Next on the show, we have Drill of the Week. And this week, instead of an actual drill or set drill, we want to stress the importance of incorporating outlet passes into your warm-up routine. By adding quick outlet passes to a clean save, we are teaching our brains to look up immediately after a save and scan the field for an open pass. This needs to be a focus of yours. As the game grows, pushing the ball in transition and pushing the ball on a fast break is vitally important in a goalie's game. Quick transition passes lead to more fast breaks, which lead to more goals. This drill can be a standalone drill, or you can incorporate outlet passes into your regular warm-up routine. The most important thing is to make sure you push yourself to get that ball out as quickly as possible so that we can get the ball upfield and into a scoring position. Now onto the boys' side. We had some big performers on week one. Some absolute studs ball out on week one. To start off the list, we have Jacob Briggs from Land O'Lakes High School. This kid put up a 71% save percentage, led his team to a 3-1 start, averaged 6.7 goals against a game, and put up 50 saves. 50! After Jacob, we have Ivan Harrison from Marco Island Academy. Ivan saved the ball at a 76% clip, had 41 saves in week one, and also had 6.5 goals against on average. Congrats to Jacob and Ivan, but this week's Crease Kings goalie of the week is none other than Mason Masterson from Lake Mary High School in Orlando. Big week for Orlando goalies. Mason Masterson is a returning 2A state champion, a Rollins commit, and helped his team start the season 2-0 with a statement win against Ponte Vedra up in Jacksonville. Had a 67 save percentage and had a 2.5 goals against average. Super happy to interview Mason for you guys, so we're happy to have him on the show. I appreciate you coming on the show. We're just going to go through the questions. We'll get you out of here. I know you have practice to get to. So, yeah. All right, first question I sent you was, how did you first get into playing lacrosse, and what drew you to goalie?
So I started in, I think it was 4th grade.
Okay.
But I played attack for the first 2 years I ever played. And on my rec team, the goalie got hurt. And they were kind of like, do you want to play? Like, we need someone to do it. And my parents, they were kind of like, you should try. I just started, and I was pretty good at it. Like, I thought I was all right at it for, trying it,
sure.
and then I stuck with it.
I got
Pretty
you.
much as how it started. I just played the rest of the season and then kept playing.
I feel like that's like kind of everybody. I don't think anybody like ever like starts as a goalie. Number 2, what do you think the most crucial attributes for a successful goalie are, both mentally and physically?
I think physically, as a goalie, you can look however you want.
You're right.
I don't think you got to be 6'3". I think you could be 5'5".
Right.
And I think you could be however big or small, like weight-wise. But mentally, I think is the important part. You got to be able to shake stuff off. You can't, if you let one goal bother you too much, you're screwed for the rest of the game. Because then you're not even you can't move on from a goal, especially like early in the game. That's going to be the hardest part, I think.
Totally.
And I think the other thing is clearing the ball. You got to be able to clear it nowadays really well.
All right, number 3, when getting ready for a big game, what's the most important aspect of your preparation?
Most important thing for me is I watch a lot of film.
Gotcha.
Like before we play.
Totally.
I watch a lot of film on the team before we play them. That helps me feel more prepared. And then it makes it way easier in the game because you can see stuff happening, and then you kind of tell people where the offense might be looking on, like in this certain set or stuff like that. So I think that helps me
totally
a lot.
Memorable save that kind of either game changing or like kind of maybe turned your career, turned it around.
Sophomore year, we were at Creekside.
Okay.
They were really good that year.
Yeah.
They had Mana and a couple other kids.
Okay.
Eventually put me in to start the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And it was tied. And I think I had like 2 or 3 saves in the quarter.
Gotcha.
And we ended up winning. But I definitely think like the biggest save I ever made for sure was last year in the regional final. We were up 6-5 in the fourth quarter. We're clearing it.
Yeah.
And one of the poles of our team, it's a 2-on-1 by the box.
Yeah.
And the one guy goes over and he's gonna throw it to him. And the attackman like jumps up in the air, like at the midfield line, and catches it.
Yeah.
So no one's back. And I was at the restraining line. So I'm sprinting back into the goal.
Right.
And the attackman's coming down with the ball. I like get to the crease, like turn around, and then like catch it like falling to the ground. Like
let's go.
This is probably like 3 minutes left, and then if they scored, that would have been tied. I don't know what would have happened, but that was probably the biggest save.
Okay.
Then we won.
Can you talk about the importance of leadership? Like obviously, like okay, you're a senior, you're a leader on the team now. You already have a state championship. Like obviously, you're a leader on the team now. But even like maybe it's like a sophomore goalie. Just talk about like the importance of leadership as a goalie.
I won't lie, I was pretty like immature, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I was very not good at the like communication side when I was younger of goalie. That was something like I had to really work on.
Okay.
Was like being loud in the goal and like commanding the defense.
Gotcha.
I think the biggest thing that I've learned, you have to know what you're saying. You have to like,
for sure.
Like if you know what the defense is supposed to do, you have to tell them, like,
right.
Regardless of like whether there's a senior pole that starts on defense that is like a captain or whatever. I think like the biggest thing is like as a goalie, you have like a unique perspective of like the way you watch you can see the game and see stuff happening.
Right.
You have to, whether you are quiet or not, you have to during the game talk. Like it can be natural for some kids just to like be able to like be loud in the goal, but for some reason, like for me and like for other people, like it's just not, and you have to work on it.
Well, yeah, especially like when you're like in a big time program, like you're in the Lake Mayor program that's like established, and you come in as an underclassman. It's hard to direct your poles that are like seniors that are established players on that team. So I definitely get what you're saying. And then this kind of leads into the next question. If you could go back to your freshman self and give that person advice, what would it be?
I'd for sure be patient.
For sure.
As a freshman, I felt like I was the best goalie there still. I felt like I should be playing. I wasn't. And it kind of bothered me sometimes. And like, I just let it like I kind of like had the attitude like, you know, I tried not to like care.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And got me yelled at a couple times in practice.
Fair.
And I definitely think the biggest thing, like, I could have used waiting, but being on varsity, better to learn the whole system. I know like the back of my hand. I knew it by that going to my junior year.
Right.
But after my freshman year, I think if I was more locked in and committed, I could have been able to show that in practice my sophomore year and probably got on the field more.
Got you. That's good advice. How do you see lacrosse evolving in Florida? What do you think the future holds for like the sport here in the state?
I think it's good. I think it's great. Yeah, I think the important thing for Florida lacrosse is the more change in winners and teams that have success, the better.
Easily, more parity.
Because if it's not St. Andrews and St. Thomas every year, I think that's good for the sport. Like, it was our first time winning the state championship last year. Like, Highland's been good, but they're really good again.
Yeah.
You guys are really good. Ponte Vedra. There's teams all over the state, I think, now that are really competitive and programs that are getting better. I don't know how the rec programs and, like, games changed. I know, like, Lake Mary, we put a lot of work into that. And I think, like, specifically, like, college lacrosse too, like I'm going to Rollins,
right?
And you know, they've gotten really good. I think that helps. That now to have really good college teams in Florida helps too. Other thing is you look around at some of the really good teams in the state right now, and they actually have a lot of younger kids. That are playing like big roles, and they're really good.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it just like shows that like for the state now, like there's good players everywhere.
Yeah.
In terms of the goalie position, I think that the goalies in Florida have gotten really good.
Can you share any experiences or lessons learned from being a part of a successful state championship winning team?
You need 35 people and all the coaches to completely buy into the system.
Buy in.
Whatever it is, everyone has to come to practice every day with one goal. The goal for us every year is to win the state championship. That, for programs that are trying to win it, I think that everyone on the team, whether you're playing or not, has to practice with that goal. Because the biggest change since I've been at Lake Mary is the depth. Because now when the scout team is repping something for the defense in prep, the players repping it are so much better than the kids that used to be repping it that couldn't even like catch and throw.
Got you.
So that helps so much then once you get into the game. And those people also, they care because they know, their time's not right now, but it'll come. And so they're learning. So I think I think definitely that's the biggest thing to me. You got to have 35 people that really want to win a state championship.
Finally, what are your goals and aspirations for your lacrosse career? Short term, so obviously for this season and then going forward.
The goal this year is definitely, again, to win states.
Right.
We can do it for sure again.
Yeah.
And then long term, I don't know. I'm really excited to go to Rollins. They got a really good program going right now.
Yeah.
I hope to compete for a starting job my freshman year there.
Yeah.
Finish this season. Hopefully we win states and then go to college and see what happens.
All right. Sounds good. All right, dog. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All your answers definitely seem very thought out, and we really appreciate you being on the show. We'll see you guys. I think it's March 1st, so 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. All right, buddy. I'll catch you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. See you, man. Up next, we have our product review. Some of you guys might have seen this. This is the CL Ace from Deep South Lacrosse. This is the second iteration of their Ace goalie head. And I will say it is ironed out all the bugs from the first one that people had issues with to start off with. That being said, still a very controversial head within the goalie community. Why is it so controversial? Well, obviously, it is not the shape of your normal goalie stick, or at least your normal goalie stick anymore. And while it is a different shape, I think the real reason why the goalie community might have some mixed feelings on this is because the goalie community is resistant to change. Like a lot of different communities are resistant to change, the goalie community has found success in a few different goalie heads for a number of years, and a lot of people who have had success with those goalie heads don't want to see something like this because this pushes the boundaries. This CLAce does take care of some issues that some people have complained about when referring to the STX Eclipse and the ECD Impact. That being, it is very stiff, it is very sturdy, it's definitely not going to bend on you. But obviously, people are worried about the shape. People are worried that there's not enough surface area right here. And while it is a valid concern when you first look at the stick, when you actually compare it to other heads in the game, other popular heads in the game, you can see that the head is actually of comparable size. If you do pick up one of these heads, make sure you get it strung the way it's supposed to be strung. This is not like a regular goalie head. If you string it the same way, it's not gonna work out as well. So make sure you guys get this strung the correct way. What people need to understand, what goalies need to understand, is that the CLAce is not trying to be like the other goalie heads on the market. It was made to be different. And that's the kind of audience this head should be marketed to. The goalies who are a little bit different, who find comfort outside the crease, who need a little bit of extra stiffness, that aren't so resistant to change. It is made for a goalie who is looking for a stick that can match his or her personality and play style. While the CLAce might not be for everyone, I think the entire goalie community should be excited that the boundaries are finally being tested. There have been so many years, so many times that a company pretty much just drops the same style and shape of goalie head. And while they are great, there's a lot of great goalie heads on the market. It is great to see a company really try to push the boundaries of what a goalie head can be and what it should be, because that is better for the game. Thank you guys for tuning in to our second episode of In the Crease and our first set of interviews on the show. Please remember, Florida is a very large state. While we did cover some great goalies of the week on the boys and girls side, I know we did not cover all of the goalies. I know we did not cover all of the great, outstanding performances that these goalies have put in this first week of lacrosse. Please, 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 please send us stats, send us highlights at the Crease Kings, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We went over it. I don't have a MySpace, but all of those will go. All of those work. So please make sure you guys send us stats, send us highlights. We want to feature you on the show. You guys know the drill. Please reach out to us. Also, again, sponsor, wherever. If you want to be a sponsor on the show, please hit us up as well. You could be right here. This could be you, or this could be you, wherever my open space is. One of these can be you. This can be you, right there. Think of it. Think about how beautiful that is. You could be right there. So please hit us up if you want to be our sponsor. Please follow us on our socials for continued goalie content. And please, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our YouTube so you won't miss an In the Crease episode this season. We got some good stuff coming. Again, we got Goalie of the Year coming up. I haven't announced the prize yet, but it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. Thank you guys for coming to the show. You guys have been In the Crease with Coach Seabass, and we'll see you guys on the next one.